Right, welcome back to the channel. Paint's finally arrived, which is good. I've got 3 cans on the bench at the moment. I do have 4, just went over just in case. I wasn't sure how many I was going to need. So, at long last, sorry it's been a while, but say, delivery got here as quickly as it could. It's taking longer in some instances, so, but it's here, that's the main thing. I will do a test on a test piece off to one side in a second just to make sure, because it is literally hasn't long turned up, so I haven't, all I've done is just unwrapped it, put it on the bench. I haven't tried it. I mean, I have gone for bright silver metallic, so hopefully that should do the job. Aim of today is get all these parts wet and dried, get them smooth, get them dried off, prepped and ready, so we can get the base coat on. Again, just having a double check how long between. Yeah, apply several thin layers between coats, allow approximately 30 minutes for the paint to become touch dry, and then leave at least 24 hours to be fully dry. So normally I leave it about 15-20 minutes, so this is going to take a bit longer. So we'll do thin coats. The first coat will be, as I normally do, will just be a light dusting. I'll leave that for half an hour, and then I'll come back and then I'll do a heavier second coat, and then the final third coat. I'm going to go 3 coats. Light dusting, 2 heavy coats, same as I did with the primer. That was a light dusting, 2 heavy coats. And I'll probably do the same with the, grab it, probably do the same with the Candy Emerald. When that goes on, that will be a light dusting and then 2 heavy coats. But actually make sure it is actually quite dry before I do any more. So as I say, today the main aim is to get the 3 coats, get these rubbed down, get 3 coats on, and then I'll leave it until probably the next episode. So from in my time, that will probably be 4 or 5 days from now. And then I can start with the Candy Emerald, which is going to be an interesting one to do. So enough talk, let's get on and start rubbing these parts down wet and dry. Alright, so I'm going to start with the side panels. So they're fairly smooth already. I'm really pleased with how the paint came out. There's a few bits just there. This one's come out quite well as well. The actual insides I'm not actually worried about. I'm just going to leave it as a rough finish, so I'm not going to do the insides. Right, so got my water, got my wet and dry paper, just put my gloves on and then I'll start on the first one. Obviously very lightly on the edges. You should start to feel a difference. Lightly on the edges. So I'm going to carry on with this one, move on to the second one, join me again when I reach the tail unit. Right, so the tail unit, exactly the same again. So the finishes come out quite good. Careful of the edges, don't want to take too much off. So I'm going to work around this one. Again, fresh piece of paper, go and top my water up, and then we'll get this one rubbed down, and then we can move on to the tank. Right, it's topped up the water. Again, just working around in circles, staying away from the edges. You can feel it with your finger. It is just working around the whole surface. Feel it when it's smooth. So as there's a lot on this one, I'm going to crack on with this and I'll show you the results at the end. Right, so that piece is now done. I've dried it off. I'm just going to hang it up now for a while, but that's come out really smooth. So next I'm going to move on to the tank, exactly the same again. So we'll start that off. I'll show you what I mean and then I'll show you the end results. So that's the side panels and the tailpiece done. Get the tank done, let it dry, and then I can crack on with the first light dusting of the silver. Right, so onto the tank. Again, exactly the same again. Try and stay away from the edges if possible. I have caught a couple of them. Overall this is quite smooth. There's still rough pieces here. So again, fresh piece of paper. Yeah, already that's come out nice and smooth. A little bit there, but that's come out quite smooth. So again, I'm not going to bore you with doing the whole tank. It will take time. There's enough still left to do. The paint process I'll probably speed up as I usually do, put some backing music on. But as I say, the rubbing down process, that's the basis of what I've learned and that I've seen other people do. And I'm just going to work over the whole tank. I'm not bothering with the underside. That will stay rough. Same with the inside of the side panels and the under of the tailpiece. I'm not rubbing them down. They can't be seen. They will be painted, but it'll be a rougher paint. The main is the actual quality of the top. So I'm going to continue on with this. Right, so that's the tank all done. Nice and smooth. So next job is I'll get set up, and then well, first of all I'll do a test piece. Need to find something to spray it onto. I'll do a test piece on this paint, see how it comes out, and then I'll start on the side panels. So they're just hanging up. I say the undersides I'm not actually bothered with. I'm not doing them. They won't be rubbed down. It would just be the silver straight on to the rough finish underneath. But it's mainly the outside that's the important one. So let me get set up and we'll bring the side panels in. Right, so just as a tester I'm just going to use this plastic tub. That's not too bad. To say it is very, that was probably a bit too heavy. I'll leave that off to dry for a few minutes and see what happens. If you can see that well. It's quite metallic-y, so right, so see how it goes on a panel. Right, so to start with, just a light dusting on this one. So that's just a light covering. So I'll move these out of the way, get the towel piece in. Right, so here we go with the towel piece. Right, as I say, it's only a light dusting. So I smooth this out of the way, let that dry, I'll get the tank in. Right, so I'm just going to do a coat on the underside. And I'm going to flip it over, do the outside. Right, so now for light dusting on the outer surface. That's come out okay. So as I say, light dusting coat, leave that now for about half an hour. I'll come back and do a heavier second coat. Right, so they've all had 30 minutes. I've mounted up the first side panel, so that's now going to have a thicker coat. Actually going to wear gloves this time because this is quite powdery, and I ended up with silver metallic hands, so gloves advisable. Right, here we go.
Evidence of technological civilization.
Right, so that's the second coat. Just going to leave these hanging up to dry now. Again, for about half an hour. If I can, I'll show you them in the sun because they will really pop. Doesn't seem to be much in here because of the lights, but right, so I'll leave that half an hour, then we'll come back and I'll show you pictures in the sun. Right, so that's what it looks like after 2 coats. So I've just got the last coat to go on. I'm pleased with how it's coming out. I did have a quick look at them in the sun. There is quite a sparkle in there. It doesn't show as much in here. So let me get set up and we'll get the last coat on, and then that will be it for this this episode. Right, so here we go, last coat. So that's the last coat on everything. So I'm going to leave them to dry for a little bit. Now I'll hang them all up here, and that will just about wrap up today's video. Right, so thanks for joining me on that one. That was an experience. To say this paint is going to be challenging because it's something I've never actually done before. I say the Hayabusa with the black, that was just a matte black base coat with the chameleon flip on top, where obviously this is a silver metallic and then with a candy, so it's going to be interesting. So I'm going to leave these now to dry. It says for 24 hours. It's going to be at least 3 or 4 days before I'm back out here, so these will just hang where they are and just dry, and then hopefully I can get on to, with this dry, then I can get on to the candy emerald green top coat, which as I say will be interesting. That will be the same over again, a light dusting, 2 thick coats, see how it goes. I don't know whether I'll need another coat or not, and then that will probably have about a week to dry. If I do get the chance to get out here before that, I probably will shoot another video if I've got chance or time while this is still drying and get something else out of the way. So it's a possibility the next episode could be, it'll be Z650 related, but it will be another job that needs to be ticked off the list, so to say, and then I can get back into the paintwork probably in the following episode. We'll see how it goes, I'm not sure. So as I say, thanks for joining me on that one, thanks for watching, and join me again next time. Cheers, bye.